Hello dear students, today's topic is sociology and other social sciences. Under this topic, today's lecture is focused on the relation between the sociology and psychology, समाजशास्त्र और मनोविज्ञान. You see, first of all, I would like to thank all my students who are the subscribers and you used to watch the lectures. Your support and your comments definitely encourages us, and not only it encourages us but also it enhances our responsibility. So we will try our best to provide you the quality guidance. So coming to the today's topic, sociology and psychology. What is psychology? It is often defined as a science of behavior, if we can say. And when we talk about the sociology, what is sociology? It's a science of society. So sociology studies the social system, you can say, and psychology studies mental system, mental processes. So before coming to the body part of these topics, you should know the background, you should know the fundamental facts between the two. The meeting ground for sociology and psychology is the basic fact that both deal with human beings and there is no certainty or precision about human relationship or behavior. The claim of both, means sociology and psychology, to be science is necessarily in a very limited sense. Why? Indeed, on some occasions, claims have been made that sociology is an all inclusive science, as seen in the work of the Auguste Comte, and to some extent even in the work of the Talcott Parsons. But no sociologist claims anything like primacy over psychology, means primacy of sociology over psychology. Some sociologists try to be as far away as possible from psychology, while some sociologists have tried to build bridges between the two. The opinion that psychology is sometimes distinct from sociology was clearly stated by Manoj Chhaparia, one of the founding fathers of the sociology. He made a radical distinction between the two. So, part 2. Sociology and psychology. Now, what Durkheim has said, he made a radical distinction between the two. Sociology should confine itself to study of social facts which are external to individual while having a coercive influence on them. And an explanation of such facts could be only in terms of the other social facts. Means there should be one social fact and the explanation will be compatibly with the other social fact. In his language, there is the same discontinuity between psychology and sociology as there is between biology and physio-chemical sciences, and whenever a social phenomenon is directly explained by a psychological phenomena, one can be sure that explanation is invalid. The two disciplines, though closely related, are different because psychology studied behavior of individuals, their mental process, as I have told you by the definition that psychology is defined as a science of behavior, or it studies the mental processes of the individual. So, keeping that fact in the mind, that mental processes, emotions, perceptions, etc., whereas sociology studies the individuals in collectivities. Now, in collectivities means behavior of individuals are organized in a society because they are tied up with the cultural norms, tied up with the societal norms. One is mental process within the territory of psychology, while other is the social system within the territory of Sociology. The extreme views of the theme was abandoned by the later day sociologists. Some of them hold the views that some sociological generalizations can be well established when they are related to the general psychological view. S.F. Nadal argues, you see this argument is very important. S.F. Nadal argues that some problems posed by social inquiry may be eliminated when they are analyzed according to the psychology, physiology and biology. Even Max Weber contends that sociologist gains an additional satisfaction or conviction is being able to understand the meaning of social actions in terms of common sense psychology. This is a very important interpretation given by the Max Weber. He is also sympathetic to some of the Sigmund Freud's ideas. Some of the later days Freudian exponents insist on the influence of societies in molding individual behavior. Although individual thinkers accepted the complementary, you can say that although individual thinkers accepted the complementarity of sociological and psychological explanations, sociologists in general do not give a correct standing to social psychology. So what will happen in that case? After all psychic phenomena occurs in social context, and it becomes difficult to mark out the boundaries of social psychology and sociology as two distinct entities. Indeed, the social psychologists are also at fault since they have been ignoring the structural features of the social milieu in which their investigations are conducted. Now, I would like to differentiate between the two. You can say, if you see the slide, please see the slide. Now, slide is displaying before you the difference between the psychology and sociology. Point number one, psychology studies about the personality, whereas sociology is about the individual as well as the social actions as well as the society. Number two, psychology is the science of man's experience and behavior, and its subject matter includes basic instincts, sympathy, suggestions, imitations and passions, as well as when we look over to the sociology, it is a science of study of the social institutions and their interrelationships, and its subject matters includes family, individuals, religions, educational institutions, political institutions, power and social change. Number three, its scope. The scope of this psychology is limited and focused on man's mental activities and his basic behavior. As I have told you that psychology is about the mental processes, studying mental systems. When we go to the sociology, it is a general study of society and has a wider scope. Next point, about psychology. Psychology is more scientific and have more scope at the level of experimentation. When we see, I would like to say that in the study of the society done by the Imager, he was very much influenced by a German psychologist, Wilhelm Wundt, and his experimental method of psychology. It had influenced Durkheim, and that impact is reflected in his work, The Society. So psychology is more scientific and has more scope of experimentation, and there are even psychological laboratories which are used. But when we go to the sociology, it has multiple perspectives, and its claims of scientific discipline is contested within the discipline itself. As I have told you that sociology have the broader perspective, broader territory, and playing the more responsible discipline. I am not saying that psychology is something not doing like that, but keeping the fact in the mind, keeping the scope in the mind. When we talk about the laboratories, experimentation laboratories in psychology, still in India, if you see, There is no such type of laboratories functional in the study or experimentation of the sociology. So you can see that sociological and psychological explanations in crucial areas stand on their own, just as the explanations regarding conflict and war, social stratification, political behavior. However, some attempts on a minor level have been made to bring these two branches of knowledge together. Many have tried to combine the two approaches in explaining certain social phenomena where individual personalities influence their behavior, such as behavior in a crowd. It is here that sociology and psychology merge into one subject called social psychology. You see, in various universities and educational institutions, there is a paper in psychology also, there is a paper in postgraduate level, social psychology, and as well as the syllabus of various universities having the paper of social psychology in sociology discipline also. So, having this social psychology, though there might be differences in their perspectives. Girth, an important, there is a writer, Girth and Mills, a leading sociologist, states that social psychology is the interplay between the individual character and social structure, and it can be approached either from the side of biology or from the side of the sociology. They also argues that the use of concept of role can be made both in psychology and sociology. With this term, it is possible to analyze the character of individual and also social structure. But the difference between these two disciplines continues. Radcliffe Brown is blunt in stating that sociology and psychology study entirely different systems, social and mental systems. So, we come to the conclusion that social psychologist, when we talk about the making bridge between the psychology and sociology, then making the bridge between the two, it will definitely maintain a primary interest in the individual by concerning itself with the way in which the individual behaves in a social groups, collectively with others and individuals. So this is the important side of the both discipline when they are interlinked together and playing with more responsibility and interest. Thank you.